In this video, we'll look at the top crypto exchanges you may want to use depending where you live in the world. It used to be the case that you could use any crypto app no matter where you lived. That's not the case these days. Regulations in each country are limiting the brands or the companies that can offer you these services. So what I've done is listed the brands in the different regions by which one I would use or go towards, and I'll explain why I've listed them like this in this video. We'll look at all of the different features of these apps. They're not just crypto apps anymore. They offer stock trading, they offer fiat currency support, and a lot of them have either a Visa or a MasterCard you can use to spend balances from stablecoins or fiat currencies. So they're basically modern financial apps, and I'll go through all of the features in this video. Also, some of these exchanges do offer bonuses for new users. These change over time. I'll link the links below. If you sign up by those links, you can get these bonuses. And any new bonuses, I'll just update the description. And also the fiat currencies that are supported in the regions, I'll list all of that information down in the description below. What has recently changed in Europe specifically as well is MiCA regulations. These are the crypto regulations throughout Europe. Now, if you're a crypto exchange, you have to be MiCA regulated. As of right now, this is the list. Binance recently didn't get MiCA regulated, and so they've had to pull out of Europe, although by the time you're watching this, they may have got regulated again and then offering services again. As of making this video, Bybit, Coinbase, Crypto.com, OKX, Kraken, kind of the four biggest ones. Crypto.com, not in this video because their fees are insanely high. I think other providers have better services, to be honest. And Coinbase is in this list, but they have very high fees as well, which is why I personally would use Kraken over Coinbase. You're getting the same thing from an American firm, just much cheaper trading fees. But to be honest, Bybit and OKX are even cheaper still and have very, very good platforms. So I usually go towards those. The major thing with any crypto exchange or financial app in general is getting actual money in and out from your bank account. So if in the US, Coinbase and Kraken, no problem. Just send a wire in and out. That's it. It's easy. In Europe, because these exchanges are MiCA regulated now, you shouldn't also have any issues with sending euros in and out. Now, for rest of world, it gets a little bit patchy. Binance have great support in a lot of different regions, especially in South America. In the UAE, they're great for dirhams as well. And as you can see, there's a few others that are supported. If you're in the US, Coinbase and Kraken. If you're in Europe, you'll look at Bybit and OKX. Now, Revolut, you can have no issues there as well. Revolut is actually a kind of unknown crypto exchange, to be honest. Revolut has a crypto app called Revolut X. Now, if you have a Revolut account, you can log into Revolut X with your existing account. You can get money in and out within seconds, right? Revolut is a fantastic app. Revolut X lets you trade cryptocurrencies for very low fees. And you can trade them, sell them to cash, use Revolut to send the cash back out. Very, very easy. So that's great for Europe. Now, rest of world, probably Binance has the biggest selection of currencies, but it's going to depend on which country you're in specifically. Now, you can also, for example, use Kraken outside of Europe and the US as well. But if you want to get money in and out, it's US dollar support over the Swift network. Now, that's okay. It's a little bit more expensive. It's a little bit slower. And for example, in the UAE, sending dollars in and out of Kraken is not going to be easy for me because I can just send dirhams in and out of Binance within seconds. So it depends where you live a lot of the time, but you can see the fiat support here. So generally, Coinbase, Revolut, Kraken, kind of US, Europe centered, and then Bybit, Binance, OKX, great in Europe as well now, except for Binance, and then rest of world, they will be kind of more used rather than the American firms. Down in the description below, I'll list all of the specific product pages on these exchanges so you can see which countries they support and which currencies and banking systems. Once you've figured out which exchange is fully compliant and regulated in your region, you can just compare one versus the other on fees and products that they offer. So for the most part, in terms of fees, Binance, Bybit, OKX are without a doubt the cheapest in trading fees. They'll be starting around 10 basis points in trading fees, and that's done on the dollar amount or the fiat currency that you spend, right? So if you've got £1,000, euros, dollars, and you buy Bitcoin with it, they'll take 10 basis points of the dollar amount. That's their trading fee, and you keep the rest. We're doing the exact same thing on these exchanges, right? If you're just buying and selling crypto, that's the same thing. So we're looking for the cheapest fees. And that's why I often go for Kraken instead of Coinbase in Europe and US, because it's the same thing. Kraken, for the most part, have cheaper fees. You can see Coinbase fees start at 40 to 60 basis points. It's miles in the sky compared to the others, right, which start at 10 basis points. And Kraken, which starts at 25 basis points. So Revolut is a bit weird. If you have the Revolut app and you buy and sell crypto in there, it's insanely expensive. Do not do that. If you download Revolut X and log in with your same account, it's a separate app on your phone. I think the trading fees start at around 10 basis points, or you can actually get some free trades on there as well. Now, that's really low, and that's fantastic. So Revolut can actually turn out to be kind of all you need, because you have the Revolut app, which is, stocks and FX with currencies and a spending card. And then you have Revolut X if you want to buy and sell crypto. So definitely look into Revolut if you're looking to do that as well. But for the most part, if you can use these, they're cheaper overall in pretty much everything. And these guys tend to be more expensive overall with pretty much everything, but there are some nuances here, so definitely check the exact fees, and I'll list all of that down in the description below. If you use blockchains and crypto wallets yourself, then obviously it's important to you to send crypto out of the centralized exchange into your wallet, and depending on which blockchain that you're using, the exchanges may support that or may not. Now, for the what I'll call Europe US type exchanges, which is these guys, they don't support as many blockchains as what I call kind of the offshore ones, right? And so if you're kind of Western, Coinbase, Revolut, Kraken, they are going to support the major blockchains. So of course Bitcoin, because if you have Bitcoin, you can withdraw it. There's one network. But if you're using stable coins, or you want to use DeFi on Ethereum or Solana, those guys are going to be fine. However, these guys have a lot of the long tail of blockchains. So pretty much, if a blockchain exists, Binance will support that blockchain, and you can send crypto out via that blockchain. Bybit and OKX are also very, very good. And these guys really support the major Western style chains. Obviously, chains are worldwide, but they're developed by people that potentially are in the US versus outside of the US, right? So as you can see, the cost is going to be different. The cost for using a blockchain is the same for everyone, but the exchange may add on some fees on top when you withdraw them. So I've just listed them here. You can screenshot this. For the most part, you can see OKX is very, very good in terms of their cost of, sending Bitcoin or ETH or stablecoins out. Coinbase can be good on some chains and not others. And Revolut typically is a little bit more expensive. Anyway, you can compare them here. If you're using blockchains regularly, it's important that you're not paying huge fees to actually send via a blockchain, and that the crypto exchange isn't adding anything on top too much versus what the blockchain charges anyway. A lot of crypto apps now also give spending cards that are associated with your account. So you can apply for either a Visa or a MasterCard, and then you can just sell balances that you have in your account to fund your spends. The problem here is that this is a Visa and a MasterCard, so nothing to do with the exchange. And there's often some foreign exchange transaction fees and other fees that you may have to pay. So you have to figure that out in your region. Especially in some smaller countries, what you'll find is that you can get one of these cards, but it'll be a US dollar based card. And if you spend in your local currency, there'll have to be a foreign exchange transaction on the Visa or the MasterCard side, and they charge around 2% for that, or maybe a little bit more, which is why you see a lot of the crypto cards giving cash back as well, depending on how much you spend. Now, that's not really cash back. That's basically just paying you back for all of the high FX fees that you'll be charged when you spend. Now, if you're in a bigger region like the US, you're not going to have to deal with that, right? It's going to be a dollar card that you spend in dollars. If you're in Europe, it'll probably be a euro card that you can spend in euros, but you'll have to check specifically in your region. So what happens here is that your details will be used from the exchange, and then they'll give you the card. You can add it to Apple or Google Pay, and that's pretty much it. Now, in terms of what's used here to actually spend, well, if you don't have any balances, then they will just start liquidating assets from your account. And what you can actually do is tell the exchange specifically which assets you want to liquidate in which order, right? So if you have some Bitcoin and that's it, they'll just sell some Bitcoin out. If you don't want to sell your Bitcoin, then you can say, hey, I've got these 3 or 4 other assets, sell them first before selling my Bitcoin. What you can also do is just fund the card with stable coins as well. So if you just want to put USDC on there and have basically a dollar balance there, it will just spend that for you. If you want to know how to sign up for the cards and how to get it all sorted in the right way, I've got specific tutorial guides for all of the different card programs down in the description below, so you can watch those. I'll just leave this here as well if you want to see which card programs are available or not in your region. But again, this changes over time. So some regions will add card programs in and you can use them there, no problem. So again, just look at the app that you might want to use and just search for the card program and if it's available at the time you're watching this. These days, crypto platforms don't just offer crypto trading, and there's a few points to touch on here. So the first one is, without a shadow of a doubt, crypto platforms are the best places to trade these days. The platforms are everything that you would expect from a modern internet company giving you an app. They're quick, they're laid out in the right way, everything is easy. And that it really is a comparison to like the old stock trading apps, which are clunky, terrible, slow, awful things to use, right? These things are amazing. And the other thing is that they're basically all the same, right? Because at the end of the day, all we're doing is pressing a button to buy or sell. And so you can see that they pretty much come out in exactly the same way. So this is Binance. You have the chart here. You have the order book of what you want to buy and sell. And then you can put in your orders, buy and sell here. Now, I've got tutorial videos for all of the crypto platforms. I'll list them below. If you need to know how to get signed up, how to get money in and out, how to trade, everything else, I'll leave all of that in the description. But you can see that the layout is broadly similar across Binance, Bybit here. Again, right-hand side is where you input your orders. You've got the order book here in the chart. And the same for OKX. You can see it's basically the same. Is there any difference? What it comes down to is the actual market on that exchange. So for the most part, Binance is the largest crypto exchange, which means they're going to have the deepest liquidity to trade amongst pretty much everything, right? So for Bitcoin or something like that, most exchanges are going to have a liquid market. It's no problem. But if you're looking to trade smaller coins or a long tail of coins, you may find that some exchanges have wider spreads, which is a cost to trade, or just have lower liquidity for some coins. Binance is the biggest exchange. They tend to have fantastic liquidity for most trading pairs. And you'll find that Binance has a bigger selection of trading pairs against different currencies as well. And because Binance has much more trading volume than other exchanges, they can tend to make some of their products cheaper than others because they benefit from volume there. And so I'd say Binance is the deepest liquidity. But in terms of the app and how it's used, Binance, Bybit, OKX, by far the best. No question. The others are not. I would say Kraken is very good, but the others are excellent. Coinbase is not good at all. Again, the trading system is kind of slow and clunky. I don't know why, but it just is. It's got a lot better over the years, but it's still not anywhere near the others. Revolut is... you can get the job done on there, but again, it's not the best. The other 2 points to make when it comes to trading is that these crypto exchanges now offer many more products and not just crypto. So stocks are now available to trade on some of these exchanges, and also ETFs, and then commodities, and in some regions, CFDs. So if you're in the UK, you'll probably know CFDs, which are quite popular because they're tax-free when you trade them. But that's for shorter term trading versus buying the actual stock. Now, the other thing is that because regulations are different in different regions, you'll have to be specific about what you're trading. So, for example, I think Binance now actually offers stock trading through a partner in the US where you do actually become a shareholder in the company when you buy it. Now, that's different to some other exchanges which may offer you stock tokens which track the price of tokens but don't actually offer share ownership. So you're not the beneficial owner of the shares, but you own a stock token in your account which tracks the price. Now, depending what you want, either of those may be suitable for you. The final point about trading on any of these exchanges is, as of right now, I haven't seen the ability to apply for any tax advantaged accounts on these exchanges. So traditional brokers offer tax advantaged accounts. For example, in the US, you can apply for an IRA or a Roth IRA. In the UK, you'll be applying for an ISA. These can reduce or eliminate capital gains taxes and dividend taxes if you have the accounts and trade within them. Well, in traditional broker accounts, they'll have these accounts for you to apply for. I've never seen them on crypto exchanges yet. I'm sure they'll come in the future, but as of right now, if you are trading on these exchanges, these are all taxable accounts, which is a slight disadvantage if you're looking to just put some money away. So you may, if you do have an ISA or an IRA or something like that, you may be just looking towards a traditional broker where you can buy a Bitcoin ETF or something like that, which goes into the tax advantage account. As of right now on crypto exchanges, you can't do that. Something that is very good in modern crypto exchanges, though, is using the earn or the yield platforms or the kind of finance platforms. And so the first thing here, I'll show you on Kraken, but every exchange has a version of this, and it's going to change dependent on where you live because regulations maybe allow or disallow some products. But I'll go to the yield portion here in Kraken. And so you can, of course, stake cryptocurrencies. That's too much for this video. But for the most part, these earn platforms let you hold dollars and then get a yield on those dollars. Now, that will be in the form of stable coins, which are just a modern version of a dollar. And so what you can do is hold certain different stable coins, and depending on which one is supported on the platform, they'll pass through some of the yield that they get. So if you're holding dollars, well, the government in the US pays interest on dollars held in short-term bonds, for example, and that's what the stablecoin holds. So they'll pass a lot of that yield from the government that the government is paying through to you via the stablecoin. So what you can do is hold the stablecoin on the exchange and they'll pass through some interest rate. Now, depending on which platform that you're using, you'll find that they want to incentivize users, so they may up the rate a little bit or lower the rate. But we can see, if I go to auto earn, you can see it says stablecoin rewards right here. So if you hold on Kraken, I think it's USDG, which is a stablecoin that they use. You can just hold that and then you can get an APY on there. Other exchanges may actually lend out the stablecoin in DeFi, which gains a higher interest rate, and they'll pass extra back to you. But that maybe is a little bit more risky in terms of what they're doing. That's why you get a high interest rate, right? So you can figure out which platform offers what in terms of stablecoin rewards, but most of them do offer that these days. The other thing is loans, and Kraken is introducing this quite soon. OKX has it, Bybit, Binance have it. I've got videos on taking loans. I'll list them down in the description. But what you can do is, let's say you've got Bitcoin on the exchange, you've got $10,000 of Bitcoin. Well, you can take a $2,000 loan against the Bitcoin instantly, and the interest rate you'll have to pay, but they'll give you that dollar loan in the form of stablecoins, and then you can withdraw that from the platform to your bank account, and you've basically taken a loan against your Bitcoin collateral. That's very easy for them to do, because they've got the Bitcoin there, and if it falls in value or you don't pay it back, they'll just liquidate the Bitcoin and pay back the loan. But what they're also introducing is the ability to do this with any other assets in the account. So they're introducing stocks and ETFs, etc. So if you have any collateral in your account, it's really easy to take a loan against it. Not everyone wants to do that, but some people often need to take some liquidity out without having to sell the assets. And so these crypto platforms I found are really, really good for this. It's very easy. I can't recommend taking loans against assets, but if you are someone that wants to do that, these crypto platforms are very good and offer good services around that. I wouldn't have put any of these exchanges in this video unless they were very good, and I thought that they would be a great product for you to use. It's just going to come down to which types of products that you prefer more than others, and really where you live and what's regulated in your region. I'll list the deposit and trading bonuses to all the exchanges down at the description if they have one, and all of the other videos I talked about will all be down there as well. I'm James with MyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.